I just finished the sketchbook tour of the sketchbook that I filled before this. So it's probably the last sketchbook tour that you've seen. If my voice sounds a little bit rough at some points, it's because I've been talking for a while now. I started the sketchbook in March, I think a day after I finished the other one that I just showed you, and I finished it in October this year, or 2025. I don't know when I will upload this video. Let's dive right into it. This is a very wild journey through my sketchbook. I have some loose sheets of paper in here with brainstorms for characters that you can see on my Instagram. Yeah, you can actually see all of these on Instagram, but I really like these rough look at all these iterations because I just couldn't get how I wanted this to look. Yeah, but if you are interested in seeing these, then I would recommend you to check out my Instagram because you can see all of my art before I post it on YouTube. But let's dive right into it. When I start a sketchbook, I always like to start with setting goals for myself. And honestly, I rarely end up looking at them, but it's still interesting. And yeah, this is like the favorite sticker that I got at a secondhand store. If you know what art this is and who's the artist, you know, please let me know because I really like this. It's so beautiful. I skipped the first page and I again started like I did in the last sketchbook tour, in the last sketchbook that I just recorded. I started in the middle, filled a couple of spreads, and then I went back and I chronologically filled everything up after that. But I got the feedback that my heads look kind of different from different perspectives, angles. So I took a reference. I looked for sculptures on Pinterest. And I have a whole head turnaround board, so if you need to practice that as well, my Pinterest is linked in the description and you can just look for, I think the Pinterest board is called head turnaround? I don't know, but I practiced the different angles and then I continued doing a different exercise throughout the sketchbook. Then these are all, I have a sketchbook that I use for warm-ups and that's also where these sheets are from. At a random morning, I was like, today I'm gonna draw on this sheet of paper. And I ended up drawing these and I really liked them. And they are all from imagination. Again, disclaimer, if I say that I'm drawing something from imagination, then that is because it's a goal of mine. And I wanna be very transparent when it comes to where I use references and where I don't use them. Because I personally, I want to know if someone uses references because that is, you know, drawing from imagination. Well, from imagination is my ultimate goal because I want to see myself sitting in a coffee store using nothing but my brain and my hand and eyes and draw something that I like. So that is the goal. And I really want to understand everything well. So I really like the sketchbook so much more than the last one that I showed you. Yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit easier for me to publish. I really like this. In this sketchbook, I'm like, the lines between drawing from imagination and drawing from reference kind of are blurry because I can't tell that well anymore. I guess it's a good sign. It's so motivating because I honestly struggled so much with drawing certain faces or faces in general in a way that I like. And I practice it so much, so I'm getting better. And obviously some faces are still very butchered, but like some faces, I really can't tell if they are from imagination or reference. So not the case for my bodies. That's something I'm working on. So yeah. Oh, these were 1-minute poses with the fountain pen that I got in 2024 and I just cherish this so much. And then, oh, my mood is so good right now because I flipped through the old sketchbook. As I mentioned, I'm recording these back to back and the last sketchbook was, so I really don't like it. But like this, I was in a better place when I worked on this, so I learned a lot about drawing. Then here's a brainstorm for one of the characters that I showed you on these sheets of paper. Again, if you want to see more, go on Instagram or wait a couple of months until I'm done with the whole series, or maybe a year, I don't know. Then I try to really use all the space that I have to learn something. And every time I had room for drawing something like a hand, I would do that to practice drawing these things. Or a shoe, because why not? Some knees, everything you can fit in there, fit. Make it fit, learn something. Yeah, that was like the grind. I am not really focusing on making a pretty composition. Like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, it would look nice to add another square in the background here and there, but usually I am not focusing on that too much. Look at this head size. Sometimes I tend to draw the heads too small, but I'm working on it. 1 minute poses again with fountain pen, and again a random warm my FA. I need to drink something. And again something that I drew on a random morning. It was a warm-up in my warm-up sketchbook. Yeah, I really like this little boy. I think I'm gonna do him digitally, I don't know. I think this might have been the first page that I worked on in the sketchbook. Okay. Then some pencil drawings again from imagination, and here you can tell very obviously that I studied a lot of Earth's World photos. And here I was motivating myself and I wrote down wird doch, it's getting there. And here I was writing down ich werde etwas lockerer, yay, which means I am loosening up, yay. And here I was writing down, this is fun. So this is also something that I like to do a lot, because in the sketchbook again I was like, I don't care, I just want to have fun. I don't even know if I want to share this. I wrote down little comments to myself like, oh, I like this, oh, I hate this, I can practice this, I am proud of you. And that is, I usually blur that, but I'm thinking about maybe leaving that to the public to see, even though it might seem a little bit cringe. Hello, editing Leda was taking over for the next 1 to 2 minutes, but me in the video didn't do a good job at explaining what happened, and I was stuttering so much throughout this video because I was recording 2 videos back to back, so forgive me, but I want to do it right in this portion of the video. So last year I went to the event that I always go to every single year, which is TED in Berlin. And I really love that event, it's amazing. So if you are looking for an opportunity to connect with other artists and you live in Germany, then go for it, it's amazing. And when you are at this event, you get the opportunity to get a lot of feedback from a lot of artists. And I usually like to take this opportunity because I like to go and get better with my art. I hope you can't hear my stomach growling because I'm very hungry. This year, when I went to the event, I also got a lot of feedback. And one of the people who gave me feedback actually gave me very, very good feedback in itself. I was able to improve so much. And if I compare my art from now to the art that I made around this time last year, I improved so much. The way that this person phrased some of the feedback was very, very rough, let me put it this way. And the person wasn't mean. The way the feedback was phrased was just very rough. It doesn't matter because I'm going to explain why there's a dip in my art. This feedback kind of made me a little bit sad, but at the same time it motivated me to loosen up, because whatever, like draw whatever you want to draw. And you can see that with the next couple of pages. You can see that with this random orc sitting on a swine and everything. You know, the anatomy isn't correct, but I just wanted to get this idea down because I was at a point where I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? I can be either sad or just draw whatever I want to draw. So I did that. And then I allowed myself to be sad for a day. And then I started to grind. I started to grind so much. I read over the feedback that this person gave me, which was to add more details. As I mentioned, like the feedback itself, it was amazing. And I'm very grateful that this feedback was given because I improved so much because of that. And then I started to grind. And when I got home, I got very, very sick. But I think I'm gonna leave the rest to the Leda recording to explain. But if there are some cuts, then I am going to Don't worry, it's just because I was struggling so much with explaining what happened while I was also carried away with explaining what you see on the page. So it is all over the place, and that's why I decided to jump in and explain it one time very clearly, and then you can watch the rest of the video yourself. Yeah, I hope that's okay. But here you can see the grind starting, like Wow. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Then I got home and I practiced close. And then I got very sick. And this was all while laying in bed and feeling like dying. And same thing here, I was like, this isn't detailed, I know, but I was like trying to draw interesting shapes here, the pose, repetition, again, like I think these are all from imagination because I was like laying in bed. Yeah, then still like adding some grind of clothes and fabric and how I can draw these things and like everywhere. Here you can see I'm trying to draw belts. And here you can see my orc era. I really don't like this. Don't look at it. Still, this was still while I was sick. And then after the first week of not recovering, I decided to take a break and wait until I recovered. But you can see I'm still practicing, adding detail, doing like how I can do these, make it look interesting, more refined. That feedback was I can use, you know, emphasize on forms. But I noticed through that feedback, I noticed that I don't like the way that I hint on three-dimensionality. I tried to work on my three-dimensional form on the human body. And so I practiced from photo and really trying to understand how, especially clothes, behave on a human form in perspective. It's difficult to explain, but yeah, you can tell the grind was there. Then this is from imagination, as you can tell, because the proportions are a little bit off, but that's not what I was focusing on. I was trying to see if I can communicate form a little bit better. The focus wasn't drawing details or anything in this drawing, but it was rather communicating form. And I practiced more of that than a character that popped up in my mind when I woke up. More hands. And then a warm-up with 1-minute poses with a fountain pen. Some YouTube ideas that I had because I didn't post anything, but I still am working on recording videos and everything. One of those videos is also my portfolio, but I want to release that once at a certain point. So yeah. And then here I drew something with pencil and then I was like, this is so stiff. Can I make it better? And then I drew this with ballpoint and I like this so much better. Then again, some characters from imagination. This is from photo. This is from photo and I really like this. This was on a random... No, I think I covered something up. Yeah, I really like this. And this is also one of the drawings that I sometimes come back to see what I did that I like so much. And it's mostly the very confident, thought through lines. And then here I try to replicate that. Looks, I don't know if that's from imagination or photo. Don't ask me. But here I was like trying to understand what I like and how to replicate it. Look here, for example, I wrote that I really like this style. This also, I really like this. More drawings in a sketchbook. This was also a breakthrough because this is a perspective that I usually don't like drawing. And I was really grinding that. And this was the first time that I ended up with a unique looking, not the first time, but one of the times that I ended up with a unique looking older woman that in this perspective that I liked. There are still things that I can improve on, but I still like this a lot. And I wrote down from imagination, I am very proud, heart. Then more of my characters doing random things, I don't know. I imagine her getting hot underneath all these clothes and layers, so she says, it's so hot underneath these layers. I don't know. I wanted to be creative, do something. Then some colored pencil drawings. For colored pencils, I use the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Oh my god, okay, this looks like Friedrich Merz, but it isn't. Here, I wanted to start drawing what I really like looking at and what I imagine myself doing, but I somehow noticed that I just didn't do it because I was a little too afraid of failing. So I took reference photos of myself. For these kind of drawings, I like to take photos or something. And I imagined someone in my world cleaning the floor. and screaming, I just cleaned the floor, because a child is running through it, and I don't know. I hate this drawing. Look at this expression, but I love it because I pushed through it. Brainstorm for my world, I'm gonna blur that. And then I did this the next time as well. This was in July. She says, one step closer and I will kill you. And I wanted to give the snake a red eye, but because the red is the same color as the background, it looks as if there is a random hole and you can look through it as if this is a two-dimensional thing, but it's okay. I took a photo again of myself and I drew a character. Then a spread that I don't like, so I'm gonna skip it. I hate this, so I am not gonna talk about this, but I really like this. Oh, here I watched a Steven Zapata video and I loved the face that he was drawing, and it was so weird. So I decided to draw a weird face myself and I drew him. And that was so much fun. And I loved this so much. I was like, I looked at this the next days as well. Like every time I was walking by the sketchbook, I was like, let me take a look at this one more time. And I was so inspired by this random doodle that I continued drawing weirder things. Like I like this. These I don't like, but that's okay. And then I continued with like exaggerating some parts of the face. And like all of these I came up with them while watching the stream and I fell in love with it. I just look at him. He's so cool. And also he is so cool, and he reminds me a little bit. There's an SNL skit that I saw a couple of weeks ago. Ariana Grande played a little boy. This looks a lot like her. I'm not gonna talk about this. This is ugly, but here you can see again me practicing that perspective. I tested a very thin ballpoint pen because I wanted to see if I like that style, but I kind of don't. So yeah. Then again, this time from imagination without me taking a reference first. And I drew the hand before, so you can't see her hand. It's a little bit sad, but yeah. Again, I wanted to see if I maybe like this pen a lot more if I try it again. And I will do that later on as well, because sometimes you don't like a medium because you are not liking the results. So yeah. Then more poses. Again, a character that I did without a photo. Based on this, I had the idea of this face, or did I draw this from photo? And then I drew her because I came up with this idea. I honestly don't remember. My monkey boys. If you've seen the video of the smaller sketchbook, you might have seen my monkey boys that I started working on, and here you can see more monkeys. And in the sketchbook, oh no, this is still this sketchbook. Okay, you will see a lot more of my monkey boys, and if you want to see more, I have some sketches, or I have the sketches from here on my Instagram, and I post some of my drawings on there in my story as well, where I also draw my monkey boys. I just like monkeys. And then here I had this idea. I really wanted to be a little bit more free with what I'm doing, because that's a topic for me that I've been working on for a very long time, and I'm still not as free as I would like to be, but that's okay because I'm continuing working on it. So this is a toy that I came up with. I don't know, but I was free and I had a fun, and yeah, I had a blast working on this. And then this little guy, I love. He is crazy. Look at this. Look at this. It's so cool. I just love it. Then I wanted to challenge myself and draw a pose that is not a standing pose, but a pose from a different angle in action from imagination. That was a long sentence, but I ended up sketching her out on a post-it and then drawing her, and I really love the way this turned out. This is a sculpture that I found on Pinterest, and I tried to draw it from imagination in a different angle and practice the head turnarounds that I mentioned in the beginning. And then I think this is from imagination, and I tried to come up with a profile view as well, but that wasn't as good. And then here, I need to get through this. My voice is vanishing. Oh, this was right after the move. So we moved. That I also recorded that, the art process of it. And yeah, I came up with the random things. Poses, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Then a character that I came up with, some poses from imagination because I wanted to practice. These are all from imagination, except for this one. This is something that I saw outside of my window, outside of the new apartment. Oh, I really like this small little boy. I really like the shapes that I came up with here. It's very cool. Then me trying that ballpoint pen again. Still not liking it, but I like this one. It's a random creature that I came up with. I don't like this, but that's okay. Sometimes just that just happens. And then here I felt like I needed to practice drawing faces in this perspective, in this angle again. So I did that. Tried to learn something. I really like this technique. I really like this. It's because of the contrast. I'm a huge fan of small contrasty areas. It makes me fill up with joy. Then I tried to implement what I learned from imagination, because that is always important. Here I was like, okay, this is mid. Because sometimes I also hear, for example, I wrote down, oh, upgrade, yay, hard. But yeah, sometimes you just have to allow yourself to also draw something that you don't like. Then this is a drawing that I messed up a lot because I wanted to practice close and I was like, nope. But yeah, I don't like this. Kind of like this. Don't like this. Love this. Yeah. Oh no. So still wanting to draw characters and scenes. Don't like it. I was like a little bit sad after I finished this, but at the end of the day, it's just a sketch. And that sketch helped me probably to improve by 2% or something. I don't know. Then some things that I came up with, and I was like brainstorming a hat shape based on this shape. Yeah, some random faces, more brainstorming for a character that I finished. It's also on Instagram. Then this is a spread that I really like. Damn, I really like this. Again, this is so cool. I love these. I also love these this bell. Okay, then again, a page where I mix drawing from imagination with drawing from reference. I think these two are definitely from reference. And this one as well, but here I try to experiment with how far I can push it without making it look cartoony. Don't like this. Yeah, but I really like the curve here. Then this was also from imagination. I think she looks a little bit like me, but that's okay. That's the nose. I really love this drawing. This was like an idea for a character. Then I drew these from imagination. I really don't like them. I drew her. I was like, as I wrote down here. And then I drew her and I wrote down, she looks like Timothy, I don't know how to pronounce him, honestly. Timothy Chalamet, I don't know. And then I was like, yeah, but I really like it. And now that I look at it, I'm like, I don't know. But it's not bad, you know, it's okay. I kind of like her because she looks so unique. Yeah, and then, oh, here, okay. I didn't feel like drawing at all. And I was like, but you need to draw. So I drew. And then it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to because I didn't want to draw. Yeah. Oh, this was also after the break that I took, I think. Oh, this is a study page from a different artist. I'm gonna turn it around because I don't want to, you know, show you the studies that I make based on different artists. So I was like, okay, so I need to relax, take this time to, I'm gonna produce art that I don't like anyways, or you know, I'm rusty. And I accepted that. And instead of pushing myself to prove to myself that I'm good at art, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna come back to it. I would lie if I would say that I didn't feel frustrated at times, but I still did it. And then I wanted to see if I got any better with pencil, but that was the worst time ever to do it because I was rusty. I was so rusty, and that's not a time where you should do a comparison between you and yourself in the past, because this is also a way to prove yourself that you got better. So I guess I kind of tried to not do that, but at the same time I pushed myself a little bit too much, but still I noticed that I improved a lot, and that was enough for me to keep going. More writing, because I was so rusty and I had to write down my thoughts. Then this is Legami pen, are they called like that? I don't know. Then fountain pen drawing. From imagination. More drawings. I hate this drawing so much. I hate it. I don't want to look at it. Okay. Then something with pencil again. Very rough. You can tell that I was like not feeling it. And then here I finally, this was still after, very close to me coming back to art after taking 2 weeks off, and 2 weeks are a long time if you don't draw. And then here I took some reference photos, and I had this idea of a scene in the world that I'm working on and her being in a ceremony. And yeah, I really like this. It's a little bit stiff. There are things that I can improve on, but if you compare my clothes to the clothes in the last sketchbook that I drew from imagination, you can definitely tell that I took the feedback to heart and I'm trying to add more details and stuff, but still in a way that looks like a sketch, because this is just a sketchbook. I'm not gonna spend 100 hours on putting details in this. Then more studying from photo. This is from imagination. Again, these are then checkups on how I'm doing. Yeah, no. And then I wrote down drawing is so nice, because I guess I had fun after this again. And then here, very, very, very quick drawings. I really like this. This was, I think, from photo, because I remember my thinking process while doing that. And then here I was, again, trying to draw character in my own pose. And I think I looked at a reference for the pose, but then I came up with the rest. And this is I wanted to make him look into 2 different directions intentionally, but I think it looks as if I just drew something wrong. I don't know. And this is my heating bottle if I have a tummy ache. Belly ache? Tummy ache. If my tummy hurts. Yeah. And then this is, in my warm-up book, a drawing of a character from imagination. And then this is from photo. No. Yeah, it is. Oh my god, is it the guy from Walking Dead and I didn't even notice? Then these are all from imagination. Oh, now comes my little boy. I then had the idea of this cute ogre kind of character. And I drew him with a bug. I really love it. And now here comes my favorite part. My monkey boys. I am also working on a world, but it's just so loose, and so yeah, I don't put any pressure on myself with this. And I'm working on my monkey world, and then here I drew some monkeys. I used references of, how do you pronounce that in English? In German it's Schimpanse. I guess chimpanzee? I don't know. But I used reference photos but turned them into my own character on this spread. And yeah, this was such a cool reference, and he's holding a book. But they are also on my Instagram. Then more. I really like these. These are so cool. I just love them. I love my monkey boys so much. And then I drew these. This, I think, is completely from imagination. I don't know. But then I drew this, and I had this idea of this fire monkey, and I made this, and I don't like it. It's my least favorite drawing, so on this spread. And then I wanted to be done with this. Oh, this is the only artist study you will see in my sketchbook. It's a... Oh, that's not true. It's a sculpture. I'm sculpting. Sculptures are also art, but those I, save on my Pinterest, and I will also put the artist on the screen. But I am trying not to copy 2D artists, because I think learning from sculptures is something else than just copying someone else's 2D art. Then I just wanted to be done, and I didn't know what to draw. And I was like, yeah, just draw a guy that is inspired by a vulture. I hate this drawing. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. And then this is one of my favorite drawings that I did in public And this guy just sat there with his friends and I really liked his face, so I drew him. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you hopefully next time.